Welcome. Today we are going to tackle one of the most powerful tools for any web developer. And let's be honest, sometimes one of the most confusing, CSS Flexbox. My goal here is to completely demystify it for you and show you just how simple and, intuitive it can actually be. So let's dive right in.
All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever struggled to get something perfectly centered in CSS? I mean, come on, we've all been there, right? It sounds so simple, but for years, it was this nightmare of weird hacks and just kind of crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. It was a shared headache for pretty much every developer on the planet.
And this right here, this shows the difference perfectly. Just look at the left. That's the old way. A clunky, messy mix of absolute positioning, transforms, But now, look over at the right. That's the Flexbox way. Two simple lines of code. It's clean, it's readable, and it makes sense. This is the power we're going to unlock today.
So what exactly is Flexbox officially? Well, the formal definition calls it a layout module, and the whole point is efficiency. But what you really need to remember are these three things: layout, align, and distribute space. That's its job. It's a system built from the ground up to solve those huge challenges we have when arranging things on a page, especially when you're dealing with responsive designs where, the size of everything is constantly changing.
Okay, let's break that down even simpler. The main idea behind Flexbox is this: you give all the power, all the intelligence to the parent container. It's like you're telling the container, hey, you're the boss now. And once you do that, it gets these amazing abilities to manage its own children. It can stretch them, shrink them, reorder them, whatever it needs to do to fill the space perfectly. The control completely shifts from the little items to the big container. Now, to really get this, to master Flexbox, you need the right mental model. And honestly, it all comes down to just two things: the container and its items. That's it. If you can really grasp that relationship, I promise you, everything else is going to just click into place.
And here they are, the two key players in this whole game. First up, you've got the Flex container. That's just the parent element, the one you turn Flexbox on for. And then, inside that, you have the Flex items. And this part is really, really important. We're only talking about the direct children, not grandchildren, just the direct kids. This super simple parent-child relationship, that is the foundation of literally every Flexbox layout you'll ever build.
Okay, now for what is maybe the single most important concept in all of Flexbox. So listen up. Every single Flex container operates on two axes. You have a main axis, and then you have a cross-axis that runs perpendicular to it. That's it. Every property we're about to talk about is designed to control how items behave along one of these two lines.
So, the main axis, that's the primary direction your items are going to flow in. Think of it like this. By default, it runs horizontally, right? Left to right. Kind of like lining up books on a bookshelf. But, and this is the cool part, it doesn't have to be horizontal. You can change it. You can make that main axis run vertically. And we're going to see exactly how to do that in just a sec.
And of course, wherever you have a main axis, you've got a cross-axis. It's simple. It always runs perpendicular to the main one. So if your main axis is horizontal, your cross-axis is vertical. And if you flip the main axis to be vertical, the cross-axis becomes horizontal. They work together, like a team.
Okay, with that mental model in our heads, it's time to open up the toolkit. Let's get practical and look at the actual CSS properties you're going to put on the container to control this whole layout.
And it all starts with this one line: display flex. Seriously, this is the magic switch. The second you add this to an element, bam, it becomes a Flex container, its kids become Flex items, and you instantly unlock all of this awesome layout power we're about to go through.
So right out of the box, every Flex container you make has a flex direction of row. You don't even have to type it. This just means its main axis is horizontal, and all the items inside are going to line up from left to right. That's the default behavior you get for free.
But check this out. With just one word, we can completely flip our layout on its head. If we change flex direction to column, we've just told the container, hey, your main axis isn't horizontal anymore. It's vertical now. And just like that, our items stack right on top of each other. This is so powerful for building responsive layouts.
Okay, so we've picked our main axis, right? It's either a row or a column. The next logical question is, how do we arrange the items along that axis? Well, that's where justify content comes in. Its entire job, its whole reason for existing, is to control how items are aligned and how any extra space is used along that main axis.
Again, there's a default, it's Flex Start, and all this does is pack everything together right at the beginning of the main axis. No fancy spacing, just boom, lined up at the starting line.
Now change that one word to center and look what happens. Just like that, the items huddle together and move right to the middle of the main axis. Remember that centering problem we talked about? Well, this is the first half of the solution. It really is that easy. And this one is probably one of the most useful. Space between. Look what it does. It takes the first item and pushes it to the very start, takes the last item and pushes it to the very end, and then it distributes all the leftover space evenly between the items. This is absolutely perfect for things like navigation bars. You know, if you're finding this helpful, by the way, hitting that like and subscribe button really helps us bring you more explainers like this.
All right, that takes care of the main axis. But what about the other direction? If Justify Content is the boss of the main axis, well, it has a partner, and that partner is Align Items. Its job is to handle alignment along the cross-axis.
And guess what? It has a default too. It's Stretch. And what this means is that, by default, all your Flex items will literally stretch out to fill the container along that cross-axis. So if your container is 200 pixels tall, your items become 200 pixels tall. This is actually why you so often see perfect equal height columns in Flexbox layouts, just automatically.
And here it is, the big finish. When you change Align Items to center, two things happen. First, the items stop stretching and they shrink down to just fit their own content. Then, they get perfectly centered along the cross-axis. So, you combine this with Justify Content Center, and you have done it. Perfect horizontal and vertical centering. The holy grail of CSS solved.
Okay, so you're getting a feel for Flexbox, right? You're starting to see the power. So the question becomes, what's next? Because the world of modern CSS layout is actually bigger than just Flexbox, and it's so important to know when to use which tool for the right job. And this quote from the folks at CSS Tricks really just nails it. They say, Flexbox is most appropriate to the components of an application and small-scale layouts, while the grid layout is intended for larger-scale layouts. So Flexbox for the small stuff, the components. But for the big picture, the whole page structure, there's another player in town, CSS Grid.
Let's really break that down with a great analogy. Think of Flexbox as being fundamentally one-dimensional. It's great at arranging things in either a row or a column, not both at once. So it's like arranging the books on a shelf. You can line them up, you can center them, whatever. But CSS Grid is two-dimensional. It can handle rows and columns at the exact same time. So Grid isn't for arranging the books. Grid is for building the entire bookshelf itself. It handles the big picture, the header, the sidebar, the main content, the footer, the whole structure.
So, as you can see, Flexbox isn't just some other CSS property. It really is a layout superpower. It takes these problems that used to be incredibly difficult and makes them simple, opening up a whole world of clean, responsive, and easy-to-maintain design. So now the only question left is, what are you going to go build with it? Hey, thanks so much for watching. If this explainer helped clear things up for you, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the tools that build our digital world.